Hey guys, Azulin here with a quick review of Prey. Prey is a sci-fi RPG adventure that has both action and stealth elements. This version of Prey is made by a different company than the 2006 version of Prey, and while it has the same name, there isn't a whole lot else that they have in common. 2017's Prey takes place on a large space station where you are part of an experiment. You have no prior memories, but you have different sources each trying to influence your actions. Overall, the story is interesting, and you'll probably want to find as much of the lore as you can. The gameplay has lots of combat and plenty of sneaking around and exploring. Spacewalking in zero gravity is pretty neat, and it's great that there are so many alternate routes to get to your destination. I must admit though, I am a bit disappointed that there are no portals or gravity walls and no spirit walking, as those were features that made the old Prey so memorable. The combat is fine. There's a decent variety of weapons and special abilities to use. The special abilities that you copy from aliens are more fun to use than the guns, but they also cost psi energy to cast, so you can't just spam them. As for regular gun ammo, it can take several bullets to kill some enemy types, even with upgraded weapons. It's kind of annoying to have to shotgun spam something point blank for it to die. I also wish that the wrench for melee attacks had upgrades too, since I ran low on ammo quite often and had to resort to melee damage or just running away to try and hide. The stealth gameplay is a bit underwhelming, and the stealth is usually just you crouching out of sight. It just doesn't feel like there's enough stealthy abilities. Sure, mimicking random objects to hide in plain sight is really neat and all, but I would have preferred an actual stealth ability or maybe a longer range on the teleport, especially later on in the game. The gameplay has quite a bit of exploring as you read documents and listen to audio logs. There's also a fair amount of backtracking through the space station as you complete the side quests and the main campaign. The world does evolve as the game progresses, but even then, as you near the end and you've already explored, you might just want to run by the enemies to the next loading area. Just be careful if you do, because the enemies might be waiting at the door when you come back through it. The crafting system is fine, and it encourages you to explore thoroughly and scavenge almost everything you can find. First, you'll have to recycle the items to break them down into their base materials, then you use these 4 materials to craft new items. All recipes are learned once you find them somewhere, and the crafting can only be done at the fabrication stations, so it can be inconvenient at times if there's no station nearby. I looted everything that I possibly could, and I had a full inventory quite often, so I started to run into problems where I couldn't craft more ammo, which was somewhat frustrating. In hindsight, I should have spent more skill points in inventory space, but the reason that I didn't was because progression-wise, I didn't feel like I had enough skill points to spend. Things like lifting heavy objects, increased inventory space, and hacking took way too many skill points after the first rank. I would have liked to have tried more of these special abilities, but there was no way to respec the points once I spent them. Graphics-wise, the game looks great. The environments are visually appealing, the character animation is decent, and the enemies are awesome, especially the mimics. The fact that nearly any object might be an enemy may make you a bit paranoid of your surroundings. They have a habit of jumping out and scaring you if you aren't careful. The PC performance is excellent, and I have no complaints at all in that regard. The sound effects are done well, and the voice acting is good for the most part, but there were sometimes issues where more than one voice was talking at the same time, and I couldn't tell what either of them were saying. The music is decent as well, and it helped to create more tension while playing. The controls are fully customizable, and there is full controller support. The controls in zero gravity did take a little bit of getting used to though. The game took me about 11 hours to finish the main story with some of the side quests, but it would easily be longer if I had completed all of the side objectives. There is replay value in that you might want to try a whole different set of skills, or try making opposite choices to see how much of an impact it has on the overall outcome of the story. Ultimately, I think this new version of Prey is alright. There were some features that I liked about the game that I thought were implemented extremely well, but then there were other things that I thought could have been done a little bit better. All in all though, there's plenty to do in Prey. It's not a bad pickup for those interested in a lesser version of Dishonored that happens to take place in space. Perhaps at a sale price though. If you'd like to see my full playthrough of the 2006 version of Prey, I'll post a link in the description below. I hope this review has helped you. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and post your feedback in the comments below. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful day.